Hi, and welcome to Three Questions with. Got John Younger with us from Assisted Living Locators. Hey, John, welcome to the show.
Hey, Kevin. Thanks for having me.
So let's start at the beginning. Tell us a little bit about what you do.
So what I do is I help people find the healthiest and safest assisted living that's out there. So assisted living locators. Essentially, I help people navigate the process of trying to figure out which of the 100+ places that are out there are the best place to go to. So I've been doing this 3 years, spent probably the first 8-9 months just focusing on getting to know all the different assisted living communities that are out there, independent, assisted, and memory care, so that when I meet a family, I can help match them to the right place.
So, John, the question you must get all the time is, how do you get paid?
Great question, and it is a good question you get asked all the time. It's free service for the family, so I don't charge the clients any money for this. They have enough to worry about. So I have an arrangement with, like a real estate broker. I have an arrangement with each of the communities so that when a client of mine moves in, they give me a referral fee. So it's based on a commission. So therefore, my clients don't have to pay anything to me at all.
Yep. So, but how does it all work? Because when you say that, people might feel like, okay, did John send me to one assisted living center over another because he has a better deal? You must hear that question.
I get that question often, and it's a legitimate question. The way I answer it is, my goal, my job is to make sure, and my passion is to make sure that my clients get into the healthiest and safest place that makes the most sense for them, that they're going to move into and never move out again, because they're going to enjoy it, they're going to like it. Moving more than one time is the worst thing that you can do. So if it happens to be a place that I don't have an agreement with, which there are a few for different reasons, I still will help and guide and navigate somebody into whatever place is the best place, whether I get compensated or not, because they're going to have such a good experience with me, and they're going to have a great experience at whichever community facility they move into, that they're going to refer me to people. They're going to tell people about me. So I'm not concerned about the compensation part of things.
This makes perfect sense to me, John, because it's just so overwhelming. I know it's happened with a loved one. They get to a point where they can't be alone, and you're trying to determine the best assisted living center for them, and you're asking people, and they're just throwing comments. And I don't like that one. Oh, that one's great, based on nothing but something they heard from someone they heard something else from, So in your situation, you've already gone and visited all these places. You know exactly what they can do, right?
Yes, I know exactly what they can and cannot do. I'm also on top of things like personnel movement, whether it's executive directors or sales folks or the caregivers. I hear and know who's moving where, so that if there's every assisted living is really very, very good, but they all have their own nuances. One is an assisted living that's not so great today might be great in 6 months, or one that's great today might have a huge movement in their management staff and might take 6 months to replenish that and become great again. So because of that, I've gotten to know all these folks. When I'm meeting with a family, there's questions that get asked from me to the family, as well as to the assisted livings. And the process, like you mentioned, Kevin, is very overwhelming and very daunting. You don't know what to ask because most folks have never gone through this before, which is the reason why I started this business, because I went through this process about 8 years ago, and it was a nightmare. My relative ended up moving 3 times in 3 years. And so I was finally able to figure out, okay, I'm going to step in the middle of this so that I can help educate families. And there's also education that has to happen with the facility as well, because they want to understand what type of a resident they're going to be getting.
So, John, how can people reach out to you? How can they learn more?
Best way is my cell phone number, 508-878-8878. I do have a website, assistedlivinglocators.com, // whatever that is, and EMASS as in Northeast Mass.
All right, John, I really appreciate you jumping on the show. As always, thanks for being my friend.
Great, Kevin. Thank you. Appreciate you as well.